Remodelites, Dave with Remodel Media. Thank you for coming back to day 2 of Remodeling Roundup. Now, in today's episode, so I already got my first like and everything. I feel so proud. Thank you. So in today's episode, what I wanted to start talking about is specs. This is something, how to read a specification sheet is actually sometimes tricky, especially for somebody who does not do it on a daily basis. So I had a client earlier this week that had a very serious question about tub specs, and more specifically, the specs that he saw online versus the specs that were actually available on the website. We're going to get into all that. And of course, we're going to have a nice Q&A. If you have any questions, let me know. And drop them in the comments. And well, let's get to it. Roll the intro. All right, so I'm going to share my screen with you here for a moment. And let me know also in the comments below, how's the sound? Is it doing okay? Am I coming across all right? I hope I am. I think I fixed my connection issue from yesterday. So this particular client actually purchased a tub. And on the box of the tub, this particular bathtub, here, let me share my screen with you. There we go. All right. So this particular client was looking at this bathtub, and they saw that this had a 22-inch measurement. Now, that's pretty rare to have a tub that is vertically 22 inches. And so one of the things I did was I brought up the fact that, let's see, here we go. We need to go in deeper into the specification sheet. Now, hopefully this particular, 22.83 inches overall depth. Now, this particular manufacturer does not call it out specifically, but what I suspect that they are measuring is from the overall height of the tub, including that tile flange. So you see right there, that particular bathtub has what's referred to as a tile flange on 3 sides. And what that is that's just a lip to hold the walls and keep the water from going behind the wall. So the walls actually go over that little lip, whether you're using tile or stone or some other kind of material. And so in that case, with the tub, with the tile flange, that 22.83 inches, even though it does not say it specifically on the spec sheet, what I suspect that they are measuring is the overall height. But a customer who's shopping is not going to know that. And so I always encourage customers to ask if there is any question that you have. When you look at other manufacturers, for example, Amrich. Now, I love Amrich tubs. They're made in America. They are actually, for us in Southern California, they're made in Hollywood. So they're very local. And they're very, heavy duty. But again, they do kind of the same thing where with their tubs, probably one of their more popular tubs is the Wright, W-R-I-G-H-T. I do sell quite a few of those. So let's look at the right 6032, which is a very typical size. And then you look at the spec sheet. Right here. And you look at the spec sheet that says 22 inches. That seems like it's a very deep tub. But what they're not telling you is that is with the leveling legs underneath, or the leveled base underneath. The actual depth of the actual tub is 20 inches, and the depth to the overflow, in other words, the water depth, is 15 and 7/8. So now that's still very standard, and as far as a luxury tub is concerned, 15 and 7/8 depth is very, you know, very typical from any other brand of luxury tub. But a lot of folks get thrown off when they see that 22-inch measurement. So that is something that is a frequent pain point for my customers that I encourage them to dig into further detail on. This particular gentleman wanted to make sure that he could actually step over this 22-inch deep tub, and he actually measured it, and turns out the apron was actually more like 19 inches right here, even though the lip is 22. So, and that was fine for him. So, but 22 was going to be way too deep. So there we are. So leave a comment down below if you have ever been in a situation where you have thought your product was going to be one way and it turned out to be something completely different. That actually does happen quite a bit. Another thing that I wanted to touch base on is the coronavirus, COVID-19. At least in California, we are looking at the possibility of having things quasi back to normal by in the next, I don't know, in the next couple of weeks. That's the rumor floating around anyway. I take that with a grain of salt, but I have been getting emails from vendors, including I got an email from my Delta rep today, and she informed me that the factory, which had been closed for a few days last week, is actually reopening. I'm going to reference that email right now. Delta. Ba-boom. There we go. Yeah, the Jackson, Tennessee plant has been reopened and is shipping out products starting today. So that is good news. When a company the size of Delta shuts down, that's kind of a big deal. But I've had a number of clients who've had to reselect products because what they wanted just wasn't going to be available anymore, or at least not for the time being. But I have noticed a big trend towards a lot of working from home for designers and things like that. I've noticed a lot of businesses are diving headfirst into this content making business that we're in. A lot of businesses doing more live streams like this. This isn't necessarily a business. This is just me helping you guys out. I get a kick out of it, and it's just something fun to do. So yesterday I had people in the comment section. Today I do not. So first come, first serve when it comes to asking questions. If you're out there and you're thinking about asking a question about your remodel, go ahead. So for those that tried to tune in yesterday but couldn't because of connection issues, what we covered yesterday was a lot of conversation around rental units, specifically accessory dwelling units. Things like granny flats, things like mother-in-law, or like guest houses on the property. The Fonzie room over the garage, that kind of thing. And so I've noticed that over the years, uh, the desire to uh, add value to one's home in such a way by putting in some sort of a rental property has been very, very popular. And one of the key factors is generally space. Space is a big concern, and so looking for things that are smaller than normal but give full functionality, because a lot of times tiny appliances are also not high end appliances. And depending on where you are, somebody who's renting a property may need some performance, even if it's out of a 24-inch or a 12-inch cooktop, something with, two burners or something like that. So I have a lot of folks doing like 12-inch or 15-inch induction hobs. Things like 15-inch induction. Let's see. I believe KitchenAid makes one now. And that's one of the beautiful things about induction is it's becoming uh, much more versatile. Show me the induction tops here. If KitchenAid's not going to have it, then Genair will. Genair. Yeah, there you go. Let me share my screen with you guys so you can see what we're looking at here. All right. Are we back? I think we're back. Thanks for sticking with us again. Pooja, welcome back to the comment section here. All right. Let's see here. So let me share my screen with you. This is the cooktop you're thinking about ordering. What is my opinion? My opinion is that induction is terrific. Induction is the safest way to go. It is, in general, one of the most efficient ways to cook. I'm going to do a quick sound check, make sure that I'm coming through okay here. Oh, perfect. Okay. All right. So, Pooja, how are you tonight? Perfect. So you've got me. Ask any questions that you want. I'm all yours. You want an opinion on induction? I'm going to tell you that it's probably the best way to cook. I've only met one person in the entire 15 years that, hey kids, how you doing? Good, thank you. So I've only met one person in the entire 15 years that I've been doing this that even remotely had a real problem with induction, in the sense that it didn't work for him and how he used it. Now, this particular gentleman was known or is known in San Diego as Sam the Cooking Guy. He's from the Washington area, but he has moved to he's moved to San Diego now. And Sam the Cooking Guy had a problem with induction, not because induction itself was bad, but because of the way he used his cooking appliances. Induction didn't fit into that lifestyle. So to give you for instance, to give you a sense of who Sam is and what he is, he would be standing up and he'd be cooking, right? He'd be cooking on his cooktop, and he would be giving a presentation and he would be talking to the audience, and he would pick the pot up and tell a story and walk around with the pot and put it back on the cooking surface. So, and the trouble with doing that with induction is completely safe, meaning that if you pick your pot up and walk away, it's going to turn off. In the induction cooktop's going to turn off. And so he didn't really like that feature. Special, it's not that special. What you're going to look for here, let me share my screen again with you. What you're going to look for is induction symbol. With your cookware, you see this little swirly right here? If your cookware has something that looks like this on the bottom, then in fact it is already induction ready. And many nicer sets of cookware will have something like this. Let me close that. There you go. You can see it better. Something like this already on it. So check the bottom of your cookware. Cast iron cookware works beautifully. Like La Creuset, I think is one. Lodge Logic is another, because it's magnetic. The way induction works is induction is a magnetic, it uses basically it uses an electromagnet to create heat within the cooking vessel itself. And I actually did a live demo on my website of an induction cooking. It's just something I have set up in my showroom in the break room. Actually, we use it to cook when we prepare food for ourselves. And can you please link a few good 2-burner cooktops? Yeah, absolutely. After we're done, I'll do like I did last night, and I will go into the comment section and or in the description and link up a couple of my favorite 15-inch cooktops, so you can take a look at those and let me know which one you end up with too. You'll have to take some really good pictures and send them to me when you're done, so I can I'll feature it on the channel. It'll be the first project I've ever done through YouTube. So but yeah, induction is the safest way to go. You're not going to catch anything on fire. Very unlikely that anybody's going to burn themselves from the cooking surface. It's great when kids are around. It's great if you have an elderly family member that's struggling with aging in place. There's a lot of cool. I look forward to it. So yeah, in general, induction is just the best way to go. It's also very, very fast. So the first couple of times you'll cook anything on induction, you might burn it because you think it should take longer than it does. You know, instead of taking, 3 or 4 or 5 minutes to boil a pot of water, it'll take you like 90 seconds or 120 seconds. So 290 or 500. So let me explain something to you about why Zephyr has both a 290 and a 500 CFM model of many of the same hoods. And you'll find there's a couple of hood companies that do this as well. You could go ahead and buy the 500. Buy the 500 for California, no problem, hands down. However, not everybody lives in California. So the reason that a lot of hood companies will offer a lower CFM is something called makeup air. So you can get away with 290. 290 is fine. I would rather buy the 500 than the 290 if the price was the same. If it was a different price, I'd say go, more economical, but I would always, it's always better to have more power than you need, because even if you have it on low, you're going to be all right. So, but anyway, makeup air. So makeup air is this thing, like take places like, I don't know, Wisconsin or Chicago, where several months out of the year, people are sealed up indoors because it's below freezing, right? Yeah, like a $20 difference. Like, who cares, right? Get the one that has more power, right? But ooh, I can do this. Look at that. Aha! Highlight your question there, Pooja. So yeah, that's the question we're answering right now. The big deal with makeup air. Let's take, for instance, our friends in Wisconsin. Let's just say several months out of the year, they have to seal themselves up inside their house, right? And when they do that, their houses need to be more airtight than ours are in California. California, where the lowest most places will see, even in like San Francisco, you might get pretty low, maybe 40s, right? But you don't get, you're not frequently below zero. It's not common. So because their houses are so sealed up tight over there, what ends up happening is if you have too much air pull from the vent, it starts to pull air from other places, things like gas furnaces and gas dryers and gas stoves, and you run the risk of carbon monoxide poisoning. So in that case, yeah, San Jose. I'm sorry. I knew you were up north of me. I forgot exactly where you were. But yeah, so that's the deal with makeup air and why you see hood companies have a low model and a high model, and they're oftentimes about the same price. Is they're required to have that for folks, let's say and I'm picking on Wisconsin, but there's plenty of places in the country, New York and Maine, and that fall into this category. But that's the whole thing about it. It's about makeup air. You got to make sure it's not pulling too much air, so it starts pulling from other things. In California, if my hood pulls too much air, the air leaks in around the windows and the doors, and my door's not sealed up. My door is not hermetically sealed or anything like that. So yeah, that's the deal there. Does that make sense? So Pooja, I got a question for you. How is the audio quality? Because I went back and I rewatched the video from yesterday. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with the 290, and especially if you're doing induction, it's definitely going to be powered enough for what you're going to do. Yeah. How's the audio quality? I rewatched the video from yesterday, and not only did we have the shaky signal, but the audio quality was not perfect. Is this a lot better? Very good now? Good. All right. I'm glad we fixed that. It was just a change in location. Yesterday, I was back there. I was around the corner behind the bar. Uh, I have this little bar area, and it makes for a nice little workspace. Here, I'm a little closer to the router. That was it. So that seems to work out just fine then. All right. What else are you working on, Pooja? You want to talk faucets? You want to talk windows? What do you want to talk about? Let's see. Well, I have a question for you. What stage is your project in right now? I know you're building an accessory dwelling unit, and I know that I think Zephyr Pisa can be ductless. Yes, you can add what's called a recirculating kit, where it will filter the air and push it back into the room. Yeah, yeah. It's an accessory that you have to purchase, but yes, you can do that. Tracy. Oh, Tracy's my friend from TikTok and Instagram, and now she's stalking me on Facebook, and she's found me on YouTube. How you doing, Tracy? But yeah, Pooja, tell me what stage is your project in? Where are you? Are you still in the planning stages? Have you broken ground? Is this going to be we're building two ADUs. One is ready and waiting for the kitchen to arrive. Okay. The best ductless range hood from Mike. Let's see. Pooja, is it okay if I answer Mike's question? So the best ductless range hood, Mike Arasta. How you doing? Uh, so that's a relative term. The best is the one that does exactly what you need it to. So I always ask, what are we putting it over? Like in our friend Pooja's case, uh, he's doing a why did I have to use the word stalker? I'm just kidding, Tracy. But yeah, in Pooja's case, he's doing it over an induction cooktop, which does not produce any flame. So you are probably, you're going to go with a lower CFM than if you were doing it over, let's say, a gas cooktop. A gas regular cooktop is going to need a higher CFM rating than a um, than say like a professional range top, you know? So, Mike, can you elaborate a little bit for me on what we're putting this range hood over? And then I can give you a better answer. Over an electrical stove. Okay, so an electrical stove still puts out a little bit of heat, more heat than an induction, but less heat than a gas. So, and now, Mike, we need to answer a question for style. Are you looking to be stylish with it, or are you just needing something that is uh, something that is just like a workhorse that gets the job done? You know what I mean? If this was like, for example, if I had a rental house or an apartment or something like that, then I would over the electrical stove. Okay. Um, let's see here. Pooja knows I'm a fan of Zephyr. So let's check out and see what Zephyr has. Because I know they have an excellent warranty, excellent service. My customers never really have any problems with their products. And in their case, they're going to be probably on the lower end of the price range. Best bang for your buck kind of a deal. And I'm assuming, let's see, we're doing a 30-inch workhorse for a basement tenant. All right, I know which one we're doing now. Okay, what we're going to do is recirculating, yes. Let me share my screen with you guys here so I can show you what I'm doing. There you are. All right. So I went onto Zephyr's website. I went to what they call their core collection. These are like their basic workhorse units. And I kind of narrowed it down by 30-inch. I'm assuming it's a 30-inch that we're doing. I clicked recirculating, which is what you're looking for. And I'm gonna say, yeah, like something like the Breeze 2 right here is an excellent model. Just your good old-fashioned basic. We can do a recirculating. Let's see if the recirculating is built in or if we need to buy a kit. It's an optional recirculation kit, but yeah, that's the one that I would do. Haha, thank you, Tracy. I'm going to highlight your comment because you're awesome. Tracy's awesome. All right, and we're back. Okay. So, Mike, that's what I would look at, and I'll link it up in the description below, so you can, explore that on your own. But yeah, a Breeze 2 with the recirculating kit. Hey, Mike, are you looking for white, black, or stainless? Or black stainless? A lot of their stuff is available in black stainless now. I'm going to assume stainless. That's what most folks do. I probably do more stainless than anything else. But what finish are you looking for? For an undermount sink, hey, Mike, I'm going to put this link right here. And then Pooja, I'll get to your question here in just 1 second. I'm putting a link in the chat for Mike for that. Okay, that's the link to the stainless model. Thanks, Tracy. I appreciate the support. You're awesome. There we go. Give me 1 second here, and here we go. Shorten the link. Mike, this is the Recirc kit. Oops. I changed your name to Ike. Mike, you will now be known as Ike. All right. Now we're getting into a question of efficiency. Now, it's always more efficient to have your vents run out. It doesn't blow heat back into the kitchen. And in general, it's always a better idea to have it ducted than ductless. However, that's not a practical application for many. And so for many folks, their only option is ductless or recirculating, in which case, unfortunately, that is it's an absolute necessity sometimes, and I get it. Pooja, you had a question about undermount sinks. So here we go. For an undermount sink, what kind would you recommend? Would stainless steel work well in a rental? I despise stainless steel sinks. I've lived with them. Here's the conversation that I have with everybody about stainless steel sinks is stainless steel sinks, they behave like stainless steel. The minute you put it in, it's not going to look showroom new. I had this conversation with a lady last year, about a year ago, and she ended up purchasing a very nice high-end Italian stainless steel sink. I think she spent like $1,200 on it. And I had this conversation with her. It's going to do what stainless steel does. Stainless steel does not crack. It does not leak. It does not rust. It is an awesome material in that respect. It is naturally antimicrobial. It has a lot of things going for it, but it's not going to look showroom new the very first time you use it. Well, guess what? She got it put in, and I got a phone call, and she said, Dave, I just put it in, and it already has a scratch on it. I'm like, yeah, it does. I was as polite as I could be, but that's the reality is you cannot expect stainless steel to weather well. There's things you can do to it to buff it back up. I recommend a product called Scratch Be Gone. I'll go ahead and drop a link down below when we're done. I need to start making a list of these things. So hold tight, guys. I'm going to grab a piece of paper. All right, Pooja. So I owe you some links on 15-inch cooktops, inductions. And we're going to link up the Scratch Be Gone. All right. But, okay. Stainless steel Be Gone. I will have brushed nickel faucet. What sink would you recommend with that? Now, when I have a customer that comes to me and they say, Dave, I want and I actually, Pooja, if you scroll all the way back to my very first video, I cover a lot of this in stainless steel sinks, but I'm going to answer your question right now. But I do go into a little more detail in that video, how to pick a kitchen sink. I think that's the title of it. But basically, if you are looking for a kitchen sink, if a customer comes to me and they say, you know what, Dave, I want a kitchen sink. I want something that I don't have to think about keeping it clean. I scrub it down once in a while and I'm done. I want something that weathers the test of time and something that, people can beat up and I'm not going to be sad that I put it in. I'm usually going to push them in one of two directions. Either a fire clay, which is a porcelain type material, but that is a little higher end. It's a little more expensive. I probably would not put that in a flip or a rental unit. Depends on the flip, of course. If we're on the beach and we're going, high end, then that's a different story. But If it's a $4 million home in Huntington Beach or Orange County or something, maybe. But if what I'm doing, for example, for my mother-in-law, in her rental slash flip that she's doing, we're doing a composite granite or a composite stone type sink, something like a Blanco Sil granite or a Franke granite or a LKE granite, or there's a dozen different brands. I'll link up to. Are you looking for single or double basin? I like single basin personally, but that's just me. Single basin? Okay. In that video that I mentioned, Pooja, I do have several links in there, but I'll link them in this description too. Mike, I'm going to link up those the Breeze 2 with a recirculating kit. And then, let's see, and then single basin granite sinks. You're very welcome. Happy to help. So, and then, so Pooja, you mentioned that before you said that you were, let's see, let me scroll back here. You have the permit and you just started construction on the second one. And that's the project that you and I have been talking about, yes? So with regards to that, what kind of ADU is it? Is it like over the garage? Is it like basically what we would call like a guest house or something like that? What kind of ADU is it? Oh, the one we've been talking about is the one that's already constructed. Okay. So, I get it. You've constructed it, but we have yet to basically furnish it. Is that right? Or your one is a garage and the second one will be detached. Okay. All right. So you got the Fonzie room, the Fonzie apartment over the garage. Okay. All right, so in the one over the garage, then it's basically built out, and you're looking to furnish it. You need a 15-inch cooktop induction. You also need what kind of kitchen faucet did you end up with? Did you pick one out yet? I wonder if you ended up with like a pull down or like a pull out or something with a side spray. Are there any 12-inch ones? I think so. I'll check out several 12 and 15-inch options. I'll have to get back to you on that one. I'm sure there are. Okay, well, as luck would have it, I happen to have a video about that. So a couple of key features to look for if you're doing a kitchen pullout. Your kitchen pullout should have a braided hose on the pullout. Finalizing appliances. Okay. Well, plumbing will come up pretty quick though. What are you doing for a fridge on that one? I don't have a video on my I don't have a video on my channel about refrigerators. I've been thinking about it. It's almost like the minute I come up with an idea for a video on refrigerators, everything changes. There's so many new things right now. Or are you doing it where the renter supplies his own fridge? Small, like a Magic Chef? Okay. Oh, okay. Now, is this like a small, like under counter one, like a 36-inch high one or 34-inch high one? Or is this like a tall, skinny one? I didn't even know Magic Chef was still around. Hold on, Magic Chef. Because they've been bought by a lot of different companies over the years. At one point, they were owned by Whirlpool. I don't think they're MCA. Oh, they're there. They're back. I'll have to check them out, see what their new offerings are. Small appliances. 60-inch high apartment size. Oh, okay. Okay. I got you. I got you. Basic, like a over under, probably like a top freezer, bottom fridge kind of a thing. 10 cubic foot. Something like that. Ooh, they have a 10 and they have a 4.5. That's interesting. All right, so you got a fridge. We talked to dishwashers yesterday. You're going to do a panel ready dishwasher. I looked up the Bosch one I was recommending to you. It wasn't 750, it was like 800. But still, once you're in that ballpark, again, I would go with the one that has the leak stopper. Now I know we had some audio problems yesterday. Did the leak stopper explanation come through okay when the aqua stop with the Bosch refrigerator, or I'm the Bosch dishwasher? I'm sorry. And the microwave is stainless steel. Will they match? Fridge is platinum steel. Well, if the fridge is from Magic Chef and it's a platinum steel, what that says to me, and this is just educated guessing here, because again, I honestly thought Magic Chef had gone out of business. I did not know they were still around because they had got bought and sold so many times over the years. But that being said, I will have to look into what their platinum steel looks like exactly. But my educated guess tells me that it's probably something like a stainless steel that has a coating on it. Okay. Microwave is this one. Huh. On my end, the chat does not have a link. Are you trying to send a link? If you're trying to send a link, I think YouTube blocks links when they don't come from the broadcaster. It's probably to stop people from spamming. But go ahead and put the model number in the chat, and we'll look it up real quick. But I suspect what we'll probably find is that the two are, while they do not match exactly, they will be probably close enough. The OTR 24. Oh, from Summit. Their stainless is a true stainless. I'm familiar with Summit appliances, absolutely. Out of New York. Let's look at this one here. "24-inch wide built-in microwave." Theirs is a true stainless steel, so probably it will be, oh, fridge model HMDR 1000. ST. Magic Chef. And for folks who are catching this on the playback, let me go ahead and share my screen here. So we're looking at the Magic Chef HMDR 1000 ST. Which is they do not have a description of their stainless steel. Let me pull up the spec sheet here. And it's just mechanical specs. All right. Tell you what, we may have to pick that up tomorrow. The OTR 24. Now the OTR 24 is definitely going to be a true stainless steel. So I suspect that what you'll find is that their platinum steel is going to be more of a matte finish. It's going to be like stainless steel with like a coating on the outside, probably to make it fingerprint resistant more than anything else. But yes, if I'm just going off the photo alone, this does look like a very flat finish versus that OTR 24, which is going to have a very brushed finish look to it. So they will be different, but you know, I guess the question goes to you, Pooja, is that difference going to be okay? Are you all right with that? Now, I've met some people who would tell me, no, I am not okay with it. I got to have all the ducks in a row. All the jars have to be facing the same way. All the cupboard doors have to be closed all the time. And they just know themselves well enough to say, I would not be okay with that. And some people were like, well, as long as they're on the same color spectrum, it's all right. So I tend to fall more in line with a color spectrum than having everything match. I would far rather have the right product in my kitchen than have the colors between the two be exactly the same, as long as they were on the same spectrum. Obviously, you wouldn't put like black and stainless appliances together because that would not look right, or black stainless and stainless. And yeah, exactly. And it's just the microwave anyway. Though it's mostly a glass. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly my point. So if you're okay with it, then that's the only thing that matters. And just like that, it is already 8 o'clock. All right, Pooja, I'm going to go get to work on some of those links for you. But thanks for hanging out tonight. And as always, do the like and subscribe and share with all your friends and all that fun stuff. And I'll see you in the next one.